Scene 1. The challenge that changed everything. The sound of jet engines roared in the background as mechanics hustled around the private airfield of Aerotech Industries, one of the world's leading aerospace companies. Among the crew stood a quiet figure in a plain blue jumpsuit, Zara Khan, a 34-year-old single mother, widow, and a junior technician from a small town outside Lahore. While everyone around her wore polished boots and crisp uniforms, Zara stood in worn sneakers, with oil-stained hands and eyes that carried years of quiet resilience. Inside the glass-walled observation tower, Mr. Victor Grayson, the charismatic but often arrogant CEO of Aerotech, looked down at the hangar floor. His private jet had malfunctioned during its test run before a multi-million-dollar international deal. The head engineers were stumped. As tension rose, Victor sarcastically commented, "Maybe that junior tech girl who just mopped the floor could fix it better than my lead engineers." The room chuckled. Zara overheard it. Without waiting for approval, Zara walked up to the aircraft. Everyone stared. The engineers scoffed, but Zara, calm and unshaken, climbed the service ladder and opened the panel to the faulty engine. Victor smirked and called out, "All right, Ms. Mechanic, fix it, if you can." Silence filled the hangar. It was a dare, a test, a trap, but she simply nodded and got to work. Scene 2. A woman, her past, and a broken engine. As she examined the jet engine, Zara's hands moved with certainty, tracing the problem like a musician playing a familiar tune. Her mind, though focused on the present, couldn't help but drift back to the past. She had once been a top mechanical engineering student at NUST, full of dreams. But everything changed when her husband, Faraz, a pilot, died in a crash caused by a faulty engine, an engine she had warned the company about. After his death, she dropped out, devastated, and took any job she could to feed her newborn son. Cleaning aircraft floors, restocking supplies, tightening loose bolts, quiet, invisible work that no one acknowledged. But she never stopped learning. At night, while her son slept, she read manuals, watched engine simulations, and even built small models from scrap parts. Her knowledge came not from a title, but from pain, persistence, and purpose. Now, standing inside the very heart of a jet engine, she recognized the sound, the vibration, the flaw. A miscalibrated flow valve. A tiny component, overlooked. "Dangerous. Shut the engine down," she called. Her voice was soft but carried conviction. The head engineer hesitated, then nodded to the control room. Zara adjusted the component, recalibrated the pressure intake, then rewired a bypass circuit to stabilize flow. It took her 27 minutes. When she finished and stepped down, grease on her cheeks and fire in her eyes, Victor asked, "You're done?" She replied, "Run it again." Scene 3. The moment of truth. The hangar lights dimmed slightly as the engine powered up. The hum was clean. No sputtering. No vibration. The diagnostic screen showed green across all systems. The once grounded jet was now humming like new. Stunned silence. Victor stared, mouth slightly open. His chief engineer leaned forward. "That's perfect," he whispered. The crowd that had gathered now clapped hesitantly. Then louder. Then, it turned into a roaring cheer. Mechanics, engineers, even janitors stood in awe of the woman they had ignored for years. Victor descended the steps from the tower and walked straight to Zara. "Where did you learn to do that?" he asked. Zara, calm but fierce, replied, "From watching planes crash and promising myself I'd never let another one go down." Victor looked at her as if seeing her for the first time. He extended his hand. "I want you on my core engineering team." Zara shook her head. "I want to lead it." Silence again. Then Victor laughed, not mockingly, but with admiration. "You've got guts. You've got the job." Scene 4. A legacy rewritten. Months later, Zara stood on the stage at an international aerospace conference, receiving the Innovator of the Year award. Her story had gone viral. Single mother fixes billion-dollar jet and gets promoted to chief engineer. But her real victory wasn't the job or the title. It was walking her son into school each day knowing he could be proud. It was proving that brilliance isn't defined by degrees or suits but by resilience, grit, and heart. In the new Aerotech commercial, she appeared in a lab coat beside a new generation of female engineers. The ad ended with her voice saying, "Never underestimate the quiet ones. We're just busy building engines and empires." She visited her husband's grave that evening, placing the award gently on the stone. "We did it, Faraz," she whispered. "No one will ever be silenced again." And just like that, The woman who once mopped floors became the voice of a revolution in aerospace engineering.